Welcome, it's March 6th, and it's my pleasure to have JP Batt with us on Geopolitics today, and he's going to talk about an experience he had near Eglin Air Force Base over a week ago, and also some archaeological or some ancient relics that he is aware of that are being found outside of the United States, and that he is going to be part of some excavation or some kind of investigation into those.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
Well, welcome, JP, back to the show.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I'm really happy to be here again, Doc, to bring information and also to bring the light, make sure everybody is in the same page. Make sure I'm in the middle. There we go. Awesome. So, yeah, Doc, a lot of movement around the world. A lot of things are happening that is shocking a lot of people. So we just have to be in the love frequency and make sure everybody's connected with each other, Doc.
Yeah, that's important. These are very uncertain times. There's a lot happening, and the more we're in that love frequency, the better we are going to fare with everything that's going on around us, and protect our families and so forth. So why don't you tell us, what happened recently, and in terms of you having this experience at some facility near Eglin?
I went into this building. I first was contacted via phone, and they wanted me to meet up. I took blood out. I went to the VA, and I was doing my checkup. We do checkups. And after that, I got a text message. Hey, go to this location. Boom. I went to this location. It looked like a regular building. It wasn't part of the base. It was away from the base. I think it was more entering the town where I live, this area where I went. And it was a regular building. And this building is on top of this hill that has it protects it from a cliff. Not a cliff, but it's really high on top of this place. And it could be possible that people can get into this building through a way underground. Okay, good. It could be possible. So that's the way the building looks. It could be possible that people can be brought there through underground, and it's connected to other places. So when I went into this building is 4 stories high. I went into this room. I went to like a security. They asked me to put my wallet, put my phone, put everything in the box. And I said, okay, all right. This feels familiar, similar to my experiences with the med beds, similar to the experience I had with other technologies or when I go to missions. And I'm like, okay, I got a little bit happy because I felt like I was going to do some mission or something was going to happen. And I entered this room. So I passed 2 security rooms. So when you pass these rooms, right, there's a door and there's another room with a desk with somebody there. And then there's another door behind. Once you pass that room, you got the white room. There's another room with a desk. After you pass that room, you pass this locked room, and you go to this massive, it looked like a classroom type of room, but it was high. The building I told you is 4 stories. So this room, when I went to, it's like 2 floors high. Like it was 24 feet of height. And when I first entered, I saw tubes that went to the side, blue fluorescent tubes that went to the sides like this, and they were glowing. This liquid that was in the tubes, the glass tubes, uh, was like a bluish fluorescent light that was flowing. And I started looking around, and I saw like a type of bed that looked like a seat, similar to like a seat. And I saw people laying down, and they had these covers over their head, and they had their hands. It remind me. It remind me like a. It looks like a massage. You know those full body massage chairs. Oh, they're getting a massage. I'm like, okay, am I gonna get a massage? So, they had their hands inside the chair. They had the chair also with wrapped around their legs, but it was different because it had a covering, and this covering had like a tube that came out from here and then went up into the walls to this tube that had these liquid. I'm like, what the heck is going on? What is this? So I was like trying to wake up these guys, and then this guy came out with, he was dressed in, like he looked like a scientist. He had a blue button-up shirt. He had his name tag, yellow name tag, right on the side, and he's like, "Hey, no, we just want to know if you're interested to join this type of program that we're doing. You're really, that you're really special, and you can activate certain things, and we want to use your mind to see if we can get to certain places that we can't. And we got this technology. This technology has been out for a couple years already, and we have been using it also to go to space, to travel to certain places. So on top of these beds, right, you have a screen, and you look at the screen, and it's like you're seeing somebody in first person, and they're in a cave or investigating in ancient ruins or something like that. And I'm like, okay. So I put it all together, and then I asked the person that asked me to join the program. I said, hey, so is that what they're doing right now? Is this what they're doing right now? This is not VR or nothing like that. This is real time. Because like, yeah. They're inside another human body. Doing, and I said, who are these human bodies? Like what are these human bodies? Oh, it's them. It's them. It's their other versions of them. So I didn't want to get into the clone, but he says it's other people. It's other people that gave the authority to wear this device. It's like a device that they wear behind their head, and then the person in the bed can link into that device, and they start using the body. They use their eyes, they use their movements, they use their voice, and it's like if they were there and all that. And the one thing they can't use, I don't know why, is the ear, because I saw them with earpieces. So I don't think they can hear, but they can use their visual. So when they go to these places, they're like mute. So I don't know what happens with the technology that they can't use the ears for hearing, but they can use the eyes, and they can use the whole body. So I think the ears are connected to the leader that is telling them what to do. So I saw the screen. The screen looked high tech. It looked like a TV that was computer screen that was rounded out. It was huge on top of everybody, and they were doing like a excavation, or they were finding these ancient ruins. And the guy asked me, "Hey, do you want to try it out?" And a lot of things go through my head when they ask me to try it out. I'm like, what's gonna happen if I come back, or what happens if I don't come back? How about if they're, trying to put me on this bed? It's not like a trust issue kind of thing. You just feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I don't know what's gonna happen when I come back. What am I gonna feel? What's gonna happen over there? So he said, okay, so sign these papers that you don't want to do it, and if you change your mind, we're here. You know where we're at, and we can put you on. And these locations, they move every couple of months. He told me so. Every couple of months, these locations move to other places, and you won't find these places no more. You will try to find it, and your opportunity is lost. But once you start with us, this program, you will know the places that you will be sent to and the locations. So I'm like, oh crap, man, should I do it? So I decided not to do it, Doc. But I saw people excavating certain sites that looked familiar for me when I went to the Grand Canyon, when I went into the Ark, when I went into other locations like visiting the ant people prior of entering the ant where the ant people live. There's ancient sites, there's ancient things that you see on the walls. I remember seeing, ancient writings before entering the whole city of the ant people. And I found this like where I think I think there's a lot happening behind the scenes of what's happening now, and we're finding these ancient portals. Okay, that's what's happening now. We're finding these ancient portals or stargates all over the place, and I think we did find something in Iraq. We did find something in Afghanistan. We did find something in the center of the United States. And yeah, you can implement the arcs. We found portals inside the arcs, as you remember when the Aztecs went inside the arcs and they activated a portal. There's like a type of jump room in the arcs that levitates a liquid that is round, right? And this liquid that is round acts like a portal that can jump from ship to ship. Uh, so we're finding these ancient relics all over the place, Doc. So it's quite interesting.
Yes. Okay. So in the case of this technology you saw, so there were multiple kind of like chairs or beds where there was a person inside, and they had some kind of screen for what they were experiencing in some distant location where their consciousness was transferred into another body. And you kind of mentioned a clone. It's do you know more
Quantum,
details about
they
it?
call it something like quantum tunneling technology. They some way somehow we found a way to quantum tunnel your consciousness or you yourself to another location, similar to that update we did about the Avatar program, and they also use this for space travel as well. They could put you in a room and their other body goes to space, not you, and you do the mission, you come back, but it's like you never left Earth. You're still there. And I think that's what they probably did with me on the Saturn mission, but I don't have recollection on how they put me on the ship and all, or if they have a ship up there already with bodies that have this technology, and when you get into this bed or type of seat, they quantum tunnel you to this body so that you feel everything that's happening. So
Okay.
is
So there is it is similar to the Avatar program that you've described in another update, and in this case, it's a body. Now you don't know anything about the body. I mean, is it? You don't know if it's a clone or a completely different body. but it's just there's a quantum tunneling where the consciousness goes into this body and uses that body for missions or activities. And then when the mission is over, then the consciousness withdraws, and the body, what happens to it? Does it stay in stasis, or does another consciousness take over?
Or probably, so it's for example, okay, say if you join this program, this is what they were explaining to me before I signed the papers leaving. If you have to have like say, okay, like say there's a captain, right? He has more knowledge than me, okay? And I have this connection in my brain. The captain says, hey, I can do the job better. Put me in his body, and if he's willing, I'll be controlling his body. I'll do the work, and I'll come back into my body. So this is like for people that can't like do the job physically, but they can use the body physically. I think it's more higher ranked people that are using this technology that have more, that are special, they are specialists in what they do. So I think it's regular people that sign up for this, that they let them use their body for this project, and I think it's a contract. And after they use their body, they come back to Earth, or they come back to civilian sector, or they get a mind wiped and like nothing happened. So it's
kind of like almost like a walk-in situation. Then we're not talking about a clone without a consciousness.
I don't think
about the human body.
It could be that, yes, they do have clones. It could be possible that they have clone, but I think it's a walking process that, yeah, it is. If they decide to, like, if I decide to be part of the program, I'm willing to have somebody to get inside of me in order to do the task that is needed to be done, but that's why I was worried about. I don't want nobody, because it's the same way you can go into somebody else, they can also go into you. So it's like
oh wow, that's a big difference.
like yeah, so I don't want nobody else controlling me, Doc.
Okay, so that's really the main reason why you said no, that while you could go into another person's body and control that to do things, if you were part of the program, then someone else could like go into your body and use it, and as part of the program, you got to agree to that.
So that consciousness that you're jumping into, that other person jumps into you. So it switches. Quantum entanglement, quantum tunneling. So he could be in your body sleeping while you're using his body doing the task that you know how to do. And once you're finished, you come back, they go back to their body, and they keep living their life.
So it's it's kind of like an exchange of consciousness, so that while you're in that machine or that chair that has the capsule over your head and all of that, that your consciousness goes into this body, but the consciousness of that body comes into yours, and it's sitting there, and it's just sitting there, like, I guess, asleep or something.
Yeah, and it's a ancient or similar technology that ETs use to control their ship. So I found that really interesting. It's the same technology that the pilots have to be aware of when they were controlling the Nordic ships over there in that port that I saw. You sit in the seat in the spaceship, in the UFO, UAP, whatever you want to call it, and somehow this seat connects you to the ship, and the ship connects to you. So it's using the same technology, and I'm sure in Long Island, in the Montauk projects and all that, when they took out that seat from that UFO and they were using that seat for for
The
program.
Montauk chair, they called it.
Yeah, the Montauk chair. That's the way they did it. They put these kids or these people on these seats, and they had the ability to be somewhere else, using their consciousness, quantum tunneling. So I think they're implementing this technology now. They upgraded it to, you can, instead of being connected to the ship, you can be connected to other humans, or maybe something else biological, that's, or mechanical, or something mechanical that has biological tissue. And this is where we jump into maybe the grays, how they're controlled. So maybe the grays are being controlled by a similar technology like this, by other higher beings. So it could be interesting where we're going from here.
Okay, all right, okay. So you then didn't accept going into that right then at that moment. So are they going to? Is that something you may be involved in the future? What's the situation now? Is this a program that you're not going to be involved in, or
Well,
maybe?
once I said no and I signed off and I started coming out, I saw two Nordic beings in uniform. They looked at me and they smiled, like if I have done something. So I'm thinking on my way home, man, they got me. Something happened. I feel weird. My body feels weird. I don't know if it was the location or the room that I entered, that this field that you entered, but I saw two Nordic beings heading out, and they smiled at me, and they were like 6'8", tall, Michael Jordan's height, 6'6", tall. I'm looking at them. I'm like, hey, I know you could feel, you could feel when they're the Nordics. They didn't say nothing to me. They didn't talk. They were in the building, and they were acting like security, like protecting the entrances or something like that. I saw their uniform. They had a blue uniform. They did not have no insignia, but they had like a white marble belt on their belly button, and this belt had like a round thing with a blue crystal in the middle. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's something new that I saw, and I remember seeing that. And I don't know if they used that technology to get there, or I don't know, as a weapon. I don't know what it was, but I got out. They gave me my wallet, my phone. I started driving back, and since that day, I've been being followed all over the place, Doc. Uh, because I'm in touch with certain people around the world that are finding these ancient things that I saw in the Grand Canyon. So I'm in touch with certain people, um, that are doing these findings.
Okay, so relics, ancient relics that show some connection to extraterrestrial life or ancient civilizations. They're being sought after all over the planet. They're being activated. They're being revealed, but somehow it's a greater. There's greater emphasis on finding these.
Yeah.
And now you've been telling me. Well, of course you shared what happened at the Grand Canyon, but you're also telling me that this is happening in private lands in other countries.
Yes. They're finding this. Hold on. People are calling me when I'm about to tell you this. Okay, let me turn off my phone. Okay. So yeah. We're finding these different ancient sites that is connecting to a lot of things that I saw. And I got a lot of friends and people that are doing these excavations, and these sites are in protected land. They're not like an archaeological place or nothing like that because it's being protected, Doc. All these sites, and we have sites inside the United States. We got sites all over South America, um, north of Africa. Also, people are talking about this massive ship in South Korea that also are finding ancient sites. Japan by Mount Fuji. And I know Jean-Charles Mojan, he talks about an ark, ancient ark there. When I went to Kyoto, passing Mount Fuji, I felt a beautiful energy, and I know something is there as well. I did not visit the site, but I had an experience that I got taken to another ark over there. And these things are being found all over the place, Doc. And this is what is gonna I think this is part of disclosure. This is gonna be a big part of disclosure because once these files are released, this is gonna scare a lot of people because this connects to the spiritual realm. This connects to the interdimensional realm. Why are we finding these sites now? What's changing in our timeline that we're finding these beautiful sites of ancient relics all over the place?
All right. Now, you sent me a couple of photos of a particular site found in a country we're not going to name, and that you're working with a team to explore this, and it has some connection with these kind of ancient civilizations with extraterrestrial elements in there. So why don't I bring up one of those images and you can talk about it? So here's one. So yeah, tell us about this.
This is similar to what I saw in the arcs. Okay. If you put the light on it, you can see different symbols, and also you can see like a face on it, an ancient ET face, similar to what is a gray but more like ant people type of relics that they're finding in this land. Okay. It's not an archaeological find. Okay, it's a private land. Okay, I want to make that clear. So we're finding these things in these lands, and it has to be kept. And this is the first time on your show that we're showing proof of what types of things that we're finding. And I know I showed you more, and you can be my witness that yes, there's video, and there's other pictures that you saw as well, Doc.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you showed me a video, and it's very compelling. It shows a lot of artifacts, and they definitely don't look just like human. I mean, there are some extraterrestrial looking kind of like beings depicted in the artifacts. But just in terms of what we're seeing now, we see something green in the middle. There's something purple on the right, and then there's rocks all around. So what is it that people are looking at right now?
Right there, that's a type of a skull. Okay, that looks.
The green one is like a skull.
Yeah, the green wall is a type of skull that they're showing a type of laser that they have, and depending how you light the skull, you can see certain shapes and certain faces on it. So it's a really good find. I know people might say, "Oh, this is just the wall," but if you can show them the next picture.
Yeah. Right, let's see if I can show next picture here. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the things that people are finding in these ancient sites. Okay, and this is the first time we're showing this. And a great friend of mine, her name is Yisa. She's leading the way. But other than that, this is similar things that we're finding in these, well, they're finding in these ancient sites. And just to make clear, this is in one location, okay? What we're finding here. And this is the first time we're showing this in your channel, Doc. And people need to understand that this is huge. Okay. That means that yes, there's ancient civilizations that have been on Earth. And I think that's going to be part of what disclosure is going to be. The origins of who we were as humans and where we came from. Who are these beings that they're describing or descripting?
Mm.
Yeah,
this is very interesting. I mean, this looks like, obviously an elongated skull of a being that has, very pronounced teeth. Is this an elongated skull of a reptilian?
I'm not sure. They're still doing research on this, but this is similar to what I saw in the entrance of the Grand Canyon. Okay, we saw, I know I showed you other videos, other pictures, and all that, but we can't show that now, because of security measures and other things that we're scared that people might take away, Doc. So there's a lot of things that are protected right now, and soon there's going to be something going down soon that we're going to be involved. You and I and other archaeologists are going to be involved, and it's going to be huge for humanity. So I'm excited for this, that it's going to pop up.
Well, I know with this particular picture here, I mean, that shows a skull and a very large elongated part behind it, and people are going to be very interested in, how was this found, or where was it found? I mean, was it found just as is? Someone's walking on private land, and there it is, or was it dug?
No, these are being found in caves. Okay, ancient caves that are somehow opening right now in this time of age. Who knows why? And this is also connected to the, how can I put this, to certain spheres, okay, to certain things are flying around. So in these locations, right, like say they're finding a cave, right, and the other side they're finding crop circles. So these sites are still active with portals that are opening, and these interdimensional beings are guiding certain people to go to these locations, and these people are being guided to excavate, and they're finding these beautiful ancient types of relics. And that's what happened to me when I went to the Ark. When I went to the Ark, I was guiding certain teams to activate certain places, certain rooms, and we brought the Aztec Indians to sing a Kuria Mate, and they activated a portal. And I think everything is going to be connected to the spiritual and interdimensional realm. And I just dropped a video in my channel talking about the Watchers and talking about the Galactic Federation. And in December 2020, Haim Assad, former intelligence from Israel space security program, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he announced that this administration in Israel are working with the Galactic Federation. Okay. And I know other people think they know what are the Galactic Federation, and they're adding an extra name, Galactic Federation of this, Galactic Federation of that. But it's just, this Galactic Federation involves, okay, I want people to understand this, involves the Watchers that the Book of Enoch talks about. Okay. So that's when Ana Paulina Luna, when she spoke on the Joe Rogan podcast, she said, make sure you guys investigate what is the Book of Enoch and how this is connected to the UFOs, and make sure you read up of who are the Watchers. Okay, um, as we read the Book of Enoch, the Watchers, they guided Enoch to do to show him um, what knowledge, forbidden knowledge. Showed him the secret arts, the secrecy of certain things of what how the world works, and that's why this is going to shock a lot of people when this information comes out. We haven't even scratched uh, the iceberg yet, you know. And when this information comes out that this is all connected to the spiritual and interdimensional realm, the Galactic Federation, the Watchers, and who controls the Watchers, the technology that I just dropped in this video in the beginning of how, you know, they're using these chairs now to jump on other people, and who controls the Watchers. And some people might I was talking with Carrie Cassidy. She's well known, you know her, right? um and it's possible that these Watchers can be controlled by certain ETs that are connected to the Galactic Federation, and they can be these grays or these other ET species that are robotic like, that when you interact with them they're robotic like, and you just freeze when you see them because the energy that they carry is like overwhelming to the human body. So when you see these ETs, you you try to talk, you try to move, and you can't, and they do whatever they want with you. So yes, it could be demonic and it could be angelic, how these beings work, and it depends of how or what type of person you are in life. If you're evil, guess what? You're going to get evil in your life. If you're happy, we're always being watched. The reason, their names, the Watchers, they're always watching you in the spiritual and interdimensional realm. And it's crazy because you don't know, you know, if you're walking down in Times Square, you don't know if this technology is being used to maneuver these people that are walking in Times Square, or if the Nordics are walking among us, that are connected uh, to this federation or whatever you want to call them. But there's proof that yes, the head of Israel said that yes, we have been in touch, and Israel has been in touch with these beings. So now we're seeing everything happening in the Middle East with Israel, and who else? The United States. Okay, so I think we're finding a lot of things behind the scenes, and I don't want to get into what is, it's sad. We should not have this happening right now in the world. Everybody's sad. We want peace. We want love. We want prosperity in this beautiful world that we live in. All we want is peace and love. Peace and love. And we don't want the big W. We don't want this to happen. Okay.
Right. But what you've just said there is important because it's telling us that, this war that's happening now against Iran, people look at it and they give explanations. Well, it's all about oil, or it's all about nuclear weapons. It's all about control. But really behind the scenes, there's these ancient artifacts that are being found, that are being activated, that there are these hidden technologies that are very, very powerful that are being found. So there's a kind of exopolitical factor in what's happening in Iran at the moment, and that, people obviously get upset, they get very agitated that, the United States and Israel seem to be kind of ganging up on a kind of weaker military power and taking over or destroying things, but that behind that, there is this exopolitical element that is happening, and we can't lose sight of that.
Yeah, we can't lose sight on the things that I think you even spoke of it when we went to Afghanistan. We dropped the Moab bomb. Why we dropped the Moab bomb? What does the Moab stand for? I know mother of all bombs, but what else? The Moabites, the giants that lives in the caves. And then we have the giant of Kandahar that took out a couple Marines, right? The red-headed giant that smelled like crap, that was beating up like a couple Marines with a spear only. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes. Like I said, when you go into a store, there's always an exit in the back. There's a back door that people are doing something else. And yes, they're getting rid of a regime that is, I agree. And whatever this nation does, I serve this country, and and I love this country. It's the best country in the whole world. And it's not like I'm, there's always people that think differently, and I respect that. And all we give in these lives or these videos, all we give is love. And we want everybody to have love and prosperity and share the wisdom of what we're trying to say here in these beautiful videos that we are dropping. And we're being let to drop, for a reason. Some people are asking, they shouldn't be, if it's top secret, they shouldn't drop things like that. But they're letting it happen for a reason. It's a type of disclosure that we're doing here. So we want people to understand that we're here, we're connected, and there's a lot more people involved and that are in danger because of these types of information, but we're protected. The white hats will win, and we're trying our best to when this information comes out, it's going to shock a lot of people. And I haven't said like 90% of what's going to come out, Doc. It's going to scare a lot of people if they're not ready mentally.
Well, it's very exciting, JP, that you are going to be part of some expedition investigation of some of the artifacts that are being found in a certain country, and you're going to be able to report on that. I look forward to being part of that investigation and helping disseminate the findings. So that's something people can look forward to, and we have evidence. We have film footage, we have some artifacts that have been retrieved, but more on that in a future episode. So any final words of encouragement for people as we end this update?
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing soon. I'm gonna be doing a webinar with Yisa. Just to put it out there. Advanced communication technology with the Galactics. So that's gonna be something good. People keep an eye out with that. Also, maybe in the future, we're also gonna be doing something together. Talking about more about this and probably bring out more information about and more videos and more pictures in this webinar if we do it, Doc, about ancient artifacts. And always we have to be vigilant. Keep your head in a swivel and share the love frequency. That's the only thing that matters right now. We all need that love frequency, because without that love frequency, we can perish, Doc. So, Akuria Mate, heaven to earth.
Thank you, JP.
JP out.
You have been listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Join or start a conversation in the comments. Take the time to explore the vast library of best-selling books, webinars, and podcasts by Dr. Salla. Visit exopoliticstoday.com.